Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
I'm Zach Johnson, a row crop farmer from Minnesota.
And I'm Mitchell Hora, a farmer in Iowa.
Agriculture has to feed a growing population, and many people want us to pull that off without messing up the environment. So how do we do that?
It's a good question, and we're going to uncover that and more on our new podcast called Fieldwork. Check us out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Go to fieldworktalk.org.
Have you heard of a good way to deter coyotes? What about a hay sleigh? Or how to get twice the light in your machine shed? These ideas were submitted to the All Around the Farm and Idea of the Month in Successful Farming magazine. If you have an idea for saving money, labor, or time that could offer a real solution to landowners, farmers, and ranchers, we'd like to hear it. Enter your quick fix or proven solution today at agriculture.com/idea entry. That's agriculture.com/idea entry.
When it's lambing season, sheep producers spend most of their time in the barn, checking the flock morning, noon, and night to look for new lambs or signs of lambing. Extension educator Melanie Barkley at Penn State University says the ewe should be healthy and in good condition, not too thin, not too fat. That means proper nutrition management throughout the pregnancy.
Typically, I recommend that folks start with an average quality hay, and they can feed that clear up until the last third of the pregnancy. At that last third, the nutritional requirements of the ewe tend to increase a lot, either improve the quality of the hay or, in addition, add a higher energy type of feed. That's normally some sort of grain. Corn works very well.
It's important to prevent overcrowding with other sheep. Make sure there's plenty of ventilation, but the area should be free of drafts. There's no need to boil water and wash the sheets, but Barkley says there are a few supplies you'll want to have on hand just in case there are problems.
In addition to having the basics of, say, iodine, the CD&T, which is a vaccination for overeating and tetanus, you'll want to have whatever method they use for castrating. So you want to make sure you have the band prepared for that. Nutrient drench in case they've got weak lambs, a weak lamb feeding tube in case the lamb's not able to nurse right away, bottle and nipples, milk replacer. Those would all be kinds of things that you would want to have on hand.
The ewe will let you know she's about ready to give birth. Her breathing rate will increase, she'll be restless, paw at the ground, and separate herself from the other sheep. Check on her often to make sure everything's all right. Find more tips on lambing preparation at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
This is Ask Your Neighbor on a Thursday. You know what that means. David West stars the stories of the Cas Walker Show. Howard's still sick.
Howard's still sick, and I talked to him Monday. Great wasn't he's taking antibiotics. He afraid he was having pneumonia. I had talked to him every day, but he wasn't there, so I took off, and Rhonda said she was going to call about him directly, so I hope he's doing better.
All my kids and my wife's had their flu shot. I have not. I need to go get mine.
I've had it, but I just hope, knock on wood,
yeah.
I don't get nothing.
I don't want to get nothing.
Of course, I'm around a lot of people, playing music and all the places.
Well, store. I've been walking in every day.
Some of these big shows where they're just standing side by side, you know.
I'll tell you, if you want to get sick fast, have some kids and send them to school. Good Lord. They bring it back.
Last year I went and I had an infection in my ears and stuff, and that's the first thing the doctor said, have you been around some kids?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little bit, and he said,
that's it.
He said, kids has got what you got. It's what I caught. At least last year before.
And I'll tell you something else. I've watched it. Beth was sick over the holidays. The kids are a great deal more resilient. They get the stomach bug or whatever, and they're sick. But the next day, they're like, go.
Yeah, when
we get it.
The resistance is so high when you're a kid. I mean, you're stout.
Exactly.
You go with it.
But be careful, because it's out there. They were talking. Dr. Ayers was here Tuesday, talking about it, encouraging people to get your flu shots. I'm hypocritical. I tell people to get them all the time, and I ain't got mine yet.
Yeah, I hope Barney's listening to us, because he's supposed to be with us next week. He's had to run a several day. He was trying to get back, but he won't make it, I guess. But he's probably listening to us somewhere. And Barney's, he was a deputy sheriff for.
He's selling insurance now, isn't he?
He's selling insurance. Come over. I told him come over. We'll tell him back. He said he needed some customers. So
well, we can get him some customers.
If you're a big time gambler, call up Barney. He's betting you won't get sick, and you're betting you are, or whatever. You need, your house won't burn down, and you won't have a wreck. What it is, Barney, I guess we ought to get him an umbrella or a tent, paint his name, because you're under good coverage with Barney. So he's supposed to be with us next week.
Okay, good.
And I got some more people. I just can't wait. The holidays went over. Jane's supposed to come over and be with us just one day, and we've got several. I need to get Maybe Shoes over here. Shoes with Joyful Sounds. And I don't know what I believe it's just one song on this. This is a song that she wrote. And I mean, a lot of funerals have played this song. I was with them over the weekend. And here you go. And I believe that's the one I want. I think it's just the one that they play at funeral homes, but It's so good. She's a great writer. And I got to see her Sunday. And it's 3 generations.
Oh.
Her daughter, and her granddaughter, and her granddaughter's playing the fiddle. Of course, her husband plays guitar still. Her son plays bass. You talk about a group. They're the ones that I told you about. And then Mr. Walker went to this big church, a huge church, and they had the Easterlies there, Sherry and Jeff.
Yeah.
And Maybe Shoes with Joyful Sounds. They had them there.
Okay.
There's got 4 groups, and everybody come out. Mr. Walker sitting on the front row, and he didn't talk. He just talked.
Sure.
He talked. Where is that? He said, boy, that's a good group, ain't it? And he was bragging on them, and Sherry and Jeff come out, and he bragged on them, and boy, that's the best group yet. And then Joyful Sounds come out, and right out in front of everybody, you hear a pin drop. Well, this last group, better than that other group. I felt like crawling on the bench, Everybody in their life. But the good part about Cas Walker, I call him Mr. Walker because I think he deserves all the respect, maybe more than he even ever got, because he was a fellow that told you exactly how he stood, hit or miss, and he was a gentleman. If he missed it, he told you he missed it.
I was talking Don Calhoun this week. We had a conversation. We talked for about 3 hours. Just I hadn't talked to Don. I don't know, not to talk to him. He'll send me commercials and stuff. And we were talking about that and how hard Mr. Walker worked for everything he got, and then how they tried to take it from him. And it just we were talking. I don't know how we got to that, but I guess we were talking about theft in the stores and different things, and how people position themselves and then try and take what other people have worked so hard to get. I really don't think people have an understanding of how hard it takes to get just the smallest things in life. Business-wise, especially the success like Mr. Walker had. Even today, that's unheard of.
In his day, I don't know this, but that was the rumor. At one time, he was the richest guy in the state of Tennessee.
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
That's what I heard to hear. And somebody, a bunch were talking. They said, but see, he owns so much stuff, like stock, biggest stockholder state of Tennessee, a Kroger, that put him up there.
We need to get Don to come on the show.
Yeah.
He was telling me about his scholarships to college, and I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
He got one, and it was in Chicago, and he had never been on a plane or anything. He flew up there to Chicago from up East Tennessee. It scared him to death. He turned down the scholarship. He said he thought his mom was going to throw him out of the family. He ended up getting another one. Got a full 4-year scholarship to college. But I never knew any of that about Don.
He did, and then he started flying later. A little bit later.
Oh, yeah. No,
because Kearns furnished his plane for him. Kearns.
You talking about Mr. Walker? Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Plane for him.
Yeah. But yeah, we talked a great deal about Mr. Walker and shows.
Yeah, Don's a great person.
He was bragging on you. He said, "Did you see Dave? Did you see David at the fair?" I said, "No, I didn't go." He said, "That's one of the best shows." He was bragging on. He did. He was.
Don said something made me feel good at anything. People like Mr. and Miss Hammer and Don and that much, and folks right there would say about you would make you feel good because they're all great business people. They're honest people.
They are.
I worked with them. Me and Don just owed each other for 2 years. I say, let me pay. No, we'll work it out somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, he said, I need you to do something. I said, well, I've even called him up between that. Don, let me come. No. We'll settle one day. And then he said, I got a deal for you. He'd say, I'll probably owe you. We'll settle after this. And I'd do a big promotion thing for him. I even went to Alabama to pick for him. And I picked all over Europe. But always the Hammers was 10s all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Everything he said, you set your clock by it. And Don is one of my heroes. I mean, they're just good people.
I just didn't. We sat down. We were just talking about growing up, and man, that was a interesting story about him coming up. He very similar to your upbringing in so much as it was his dad that he followed until his father passed away, taught him business, got him out, working for himself when he was young, whether tobacco. Anyway, I want him to come be up here either with us, or you, me, and we'll just get him up here. I think people would love that story, love his story. Man. He's got a great story.
He told me one time, he said, David, did you know you could walk out on the sidewalk and pick up 3 or 4 musicians that just come down the street and put them together and have one of the best shows? He said, you are a put-together man. He said, you can get more out of a musician than anybody else.
You're an organizer.
He said, if I need to show and couldn't find no musician, I tell you, go out on the street and get me something. Archie Campbell would do that when he was with WNOX, and they'd say, Archie, we need some whoopee stuff here for this. We got a big concert coming up. We need a lot of people. And Archie said, okay, just a minute. He'd walk out on the street. Come here, y'all. He's herd up a bunch of people and tear the house down. Some people can do it, I guess. I guess I learned from some of those people.
And I think it's harder to do that today, though, because people have so much at the tips of their fingers on phones, and you know what I mean. They're entertained right there in their hand, in their car. It used to, entertainment was rare to come by, or a lot more rare than it is today. So if you saw something going on, I can remember as a kid, if you saw a radio station vehicle with lights going on, there was an event, there's a big thing going on. It just does. We don't have that same kind of sense of urgency today, because you can search your phone and see what it is, see if you want to go or not.
Drove down the road and saw a big tower. Oh, that must be a radio station.
Do you remember? One of the things used to excite me to death is when they would shine spotlights straight up in the air. You could see them.
Searchlights.
We'd go see what it was. When I was a kid, Mom and Dad would drive. Yeah. It was usually a car dealership, but we'd go find out what it was. We didn't always go to the dealership, but we went to see what the big deal was.
What the light was.
Yeah,
I remember that. See, even before that, years ago when I was a kid, they had me and Daddy. My daddy would sit on the porch and watch that searchlight go around because there's a little airport down here.
Yeah.
And even from Knoxville, you can see the searchlight.
The little Powell Airport? Is that what you're talking about?
But no, there's one down here on Edgemore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a little airport called Guy Jones. He had an airport, and he also had a racetrack down there.
Really?
You didn't know that? Well, Beck's, right there at Beck's.
Mm-hmm.
They raced them old 40 Fords and 36 Fords. I was just a little boy. Oh, that was a big thing.
I bet.
that was a big thing to go down and watch him. Oh, they had the dirt track, round and round, and they'd go down and race them old 36 and 44s, and I'd be up there putting air in my bicycle tire, and they'd come in there pulling in things and beat all up with it, and hit, knocked, and Guy Jones's racetrack, Guy Jones's airport.
That's me. I had no idea.
I'll show you where it's at, the field there. It's in a big field. They done a lot of...
It was on Edgemore Road?
Edgemore, the old part of Edgemore.
Going back toward the interstate or going...
No, just go down over to Claxton School, turn right. And you go down there where the old, where it bears off right there?
Yeah.
Go out there and turn right, turn left on that road. It's P. Wells Road, I believe. And go out there just a little bit, you see his house. And the racetrack was over to the right there.
And that's where the airport was, too?
Yeah. He landed in the racetrack when they went.
When they weren't racing?
Yeah. He landed there. They had a lot of pasture field landing and a lot of pasture field racetracks back in the day. They say, you race? Yeah, I'm one of them cow pasture racers. They say people would.
I remember we would go, when I was a kid, my Aunt Brenda and Uncle Ray and Mom and Dad occasionally, we'd go up to Tazewell.
Yeah, Tazewell was a good...
Tazewell had a big dirt track up there. We'd go up there, and that was great fun. Again, those are kind of...
was big, too.
Yeah, it was. Those are kind of things of the past, too, though. It doesn't seem like there's as much... I don't know. There's a big following for NASCAR.
Yeah.
But... there's just not a lot of local tracks and stuff going on.
Last year, I was wanting to go to see some. In fact, Stevie Smith, which is Frank Smith's nephew, he's a pretty good time racer. Pretty big. He makes a lot of money at it. And I wanted to go see him two or three times. And something come up every weekend that he was racing, and I said, man, I want to. So if the good Lord lets me live this summer, I want to go see some of them old-time racetracks.
Mark Vineyard down here that owns One Stop raced forever. I never got to see him race, but he raced and did well. I don't think he's racing much anymore, but he did. I always wanted to go see him, but I never got a chance to. Or whether I got a chance to or not, I never did. I just ended up not being able to go for some reason or another.
Yeah. But always had some times. If you want to, let's play a little bit of Mavis Hughes here and listen to this song. It's a beautiful song that she wrote.
Here we go.
It's gonna be a fight till the finish. Put on God's armor if you want to win it. Take the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of truth and love with the sword and the shield. You're bound to win it. Fight till the finish. When you go to church on Sunday and sit down in the pew, be careful or you'll let old Satan sit right down with you. Well, he'll talk about your neighbor, what he should or shouldn't do. Just remember, when you point that finger, 3 points back at you. It's gonna be a fight till the finish. Put on God's armor if you want to win it. Take the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of truth and love with the sword and the shield. You're bound to win it. Fight till the finish. There's a constant warfare going on within everyone, so make sure that you're covered by the blood of God's own Son. He's provided you the weapons to fight this fight of faith. To take up your cross daily is a choice you have to make. It's gonna be a fight till the finish. Put on God's armor want to win it. Take the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of truth and love with the sword, and the shield you're bound to win it. Fight till the finish.
We ended up with the wrong song, didn't we, Dave?
But if she writes a lot of songs, that's good. She's good and got her own band building. We'll check and record. We'll try to find you like
The Time of My Life.
Time of My Life.
That's what it says this is.
That may be the name of the
That's
CD.
the name of the CD. I don't know.
We'll find it after a while.
Okay.
We'll talk about something else for a few minutes. Do you go to commercial?
I'm sure we'll be fine of something to find something to talk about.
Program, somebody got it from it. They'll say, how do you do? Who writes up your program? I said, I don't know. I ain't ever had one yet.
We haven't wrote one up yet, have we?
I brought something special to show you. I know I've talked to you a lot about Sam Biddle and Sam Jones, and he talked about the CC camps, you know, that he just go from one state to the other. I think he didn't go way down. I think he went to Georgia.
And just go work.
In Kentucky and Tennessee. And
what year was it that we had those camps, David?
CC camps was about as quick as Roosevelt, President Roosevelt went in. I think pretty much he started what it was, people were starving to death, you know. And I know that the Depression put a mark on people that I try so hard to understand, because my two sisters went through it. And when they told me how rough they had it and like to die, you know, I mean, well, not like died, but like starved. A lot of people killed themselves. A lot of parents killed themselves because they couldn't provide for their family. And a lot of people just died because they couldn't get enough food with malnutrition. They died because of malnutrition. They just couldn't get it. And it was just it was a thing that here we was in the land of plenty. If somebody that had ability, you have to take care of your people, you know. Like the homeless right now, they could build something and do something that to get you off the street. I mean, look at the money we send overseas and we waste, and all of our people messing up.
I watched a documentary, part of it, last night about the hardship that's going on in San Francisco right now. And there was a police officer. That San Francisco has some of the more wealthy communities have started their own police force, because the city changed all their rules about homeless people. They're having a terrible, terrible home. But they were riding along with one of these private security police officers. And the different towns are different. They've given them the authority as if they are the law. Anyway, but what he said was what they're finding. It's really hard to clean or help the problem, because he said the folks prefer to be homeless. And they like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that they were showing, but I just don't understand. I mean, I reckon there's folks that have problems and issues.
You know, and if that's what they desire, I think this is just my opinion. I'm not going to be president or nothing, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, I won't even be dog catcher or anything. But anyhow, if you're going to be homeless, you can pass a law. The Bible said do things in decent and in order. So if you're going to do that, have a big place built. If you want to sleep outside in the cold, you have a top over part of it. You have part of the beds. You have part of it just fenced around, just like under a bridge. Do it any way you want to do it. But you got to get in the bounds of it. You can't just do it in somebody's backyard or on the...
That's the problem. They're sleeping in stoops in business entries and stuff like that.
I mean, you don't want them in front of your house or Pelosi's house or my house. Don't get in my yard. We got the homeless section. Go sleep there.
You're talking about these camps where people, I mean, they would go wherever they had to go because they wanted to have work and they wanted to have you know what I mean?
If you want to, you didn't have to work, but you didn't have to even use your name.
But they had
no idea. You had to have a name so they could know who was in there. I mean, and this man's name was Sam Biddle, and he called himself Sam Jones. And I thought for a big lot of years his name was Jones.
Tell everybody his story, David. I mean, we've talked about this gentleman before.
And he was a guy that was in jail for a year, and finally they put this prisoner in there, and they made friends. And he said, "I want to get out of there." I said, "I'm getting out." Said,
how long was he supposed to stay? Do you know? How long was he supposed to?
Oh, he's, I think, 20 years, I believe. but he had never transferred him to prison. I believe he said 20 years.
Okay.
But he never went to prison. They keep him in jail. I guess they couldn't get him moved or didn't move him or something. And he said,
he broke out.
He said, "I've been laying in that room for 20 years. I couldn't." He said, "Well, I couldn't run across the street." He said, "I was too weak because my leg muscle and everything was down." And said, this old boy come in and said he's made friends with me. And he said, "I broke out of every jail I've ever been. I've been all over the country." And he said, "I want a 2 weeks rest here, and then I'll take off." And that guy said, "Yeah, I bet." He said, "This was a real maximum jail." And said that he laid in there and said, some way, he said, "I don't know how he got him. He got a couple of hacksaw blades or one." He said he slept all day. Said he'd get up and eat a little bite, go back to sleep. And said at night, he would saw all night, real easy. So he put a blanket around that thing and you couldn't hear it, you know. And he said he got 2 bars soldered to it, put shoe polish around the cracks where he couldn't see it. And said he just forgot about it about a week. And he said, said, "I heard he was going to have a pie supper down the street Friday night, and I'm going to leave." And that guy said, "How you going to get out?" He said, "I'll show you." He said, "You want to go?" Asked this guy. "You want to go?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, stay close to me and I'll get you out here." He said, "Now, when I get to the road, I'm gone. I can't handle you after I get out, but I'll get you out." And he said, "I sat there and watched you." He said he'd come to about the time that noise started all down the street, playing music, hollering, open. So he walked over and he sat in and said, bam, he jerked him 2 bars and worked them off and then had the bottom loose and broke them off. And said when he did, said he was, me and him both was little. Said the big people couldn't have got nowhere, but they both were little people. He said he was stout little fella. Said he run out, but he's in a lobby upstairs. I said, "There's bars around those windows." I said, "How you going to get out?" He said, "Well, you better be ready to go." He said he took that one of them bars and knocked them brick out, went right under them bars. He cut a hole. He said, "Bye."
Knocked the wall down.
Cut the wall. He said he was faster than a jackhammer. He said when he did that, he went through that hole, jumped out that hole about 12 feet. Hit the ground. Said that's the last I ever saw him. Said I jumped out like killed myself. Said I tried to run, so I couldn't run. There's a lumber pile there, and I crawled under it. Said if I hadn't been little, they'd have caught me because they'd looked under it. But said it's just about 8 inches or so. And I was thin. I scooted under that lumber pile, and because said them bricks was hitting 10, and they got people's attention. And said, of course he's gone. Said that guy run like I didn't even see him, but he went outside. And he said, I laid there about 1 o'clock in the morning and said they give up and closed the town down. And he said, "David, they walked around me in that lumber pile. I could reach over and touch the bridge leg." And said, nobody looked under it because it was so close to the ground. Said, I just barely got under it. Said, I got up to the railroad track and started getting my strength up and took off. Never go back.
Out of curiosity, I was just looking for this, and it's ironic we're talking about this. It was on this day in 1933 that President Franklin D. Roosevelt established the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC camp.
CCC camp
today.
Yeah.
In that song.
Well, that's good. Somebody called
19. No, I just.
Oh, you just looked it up.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
You can find anything, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
But that was so good. This man told me so much about it. He said you got a bed and you got so many meals, and if you wanted to work, you could work. If you didn't, you could stay there. Or if you just. You didn't even tell them, but they appreciate it if you walk up and say, I'm leaving.
It wasn't on this day. It was on April 10th. That was just part of a thing that they put together.
Okay.
Said a federally funded organization that put thousands of Americans to work during the Great Depression on projects with environmental benefits and much, much more.
See, they started building dams and the outhouse, WPA. I told you about those outhouses.
Oh, yeah.
See, we got one.
Yeah.
That thing is still good.
Still standing.
It was built so good. Anytime somebody wants to come see one exactly, the original paint, original hinges, one of them come loose and I repaired it because I want to keep it intact. The original knob is still on it from the 30s.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. The tin is still, of course, the tin was thick. It was think it's a carpenter, back in.
Yeah.
Like I showed you the beer can.
I was getting ready to say it. Remind me of the can.
It was thick like that.
Wow.
It's got to reach, but look how many people I put to work. The people who made hinges went to work. The people who made paint went to work. The lumber yards, it was rough sawed lumber. It went to work. All was built alike. They didn't put a wooden floor. They put the best concrete that you could get. They poured the floor, and then they had a square box set down over the hole. And then they built a cedar top that would never go bad. Ours has still got the cedar top on, and the cedar lid, and still got the 2 hinges on it.
Wow.
They built for my daddy. They come built that for him in, I'm thinking 39, I believe they said.
39.
38, 39, whenever he opened that up. I mean, he's probably one amongst the first ones around this country. I told that to Ken Squall, and he looked up how many thousands of them were built in Tennessee, or hundreds, or whatever it was. I don't know the numbers now, but he did come back and tell me that. Ken Squall came out from Channel 10.
Yeah.
Did a story. He just couldn't believe it. And I showed him. He said, "Man, this is a story. I want this." And they came back, filmed it, and he told it on the news how many they built. Lord, I forget how many thousands of people had put to work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was the idea, wasn't it? I mean,
you had to have horses to get back in. They had to get the lumber that logged out the horses. You had to have the sawmills went to work. The tin people went to work. The hinges went to work. The paint people went to work. The concrete went to work. And I forget how many thousands of dollars was spent on tools to dig holes. Just think of all the stuff you had to have built a toilet.
He put all that stuff into action less than a month after he took office. That's moving.
That's good, ain't it?
Yeah, 1932, FDR took America's political helm.
Back than I even thought.
During the worst economic crisis, declaring government worthy of its name, must make a fitting response to the suffering of the unemployed. He implemented the CCC, that's camps.
Well,
a little over 1 month into his presidency, as part of his administration's New Deal plan for social and economic progress.
Do that. He said,
"Yeah."
Now I don't know this, but the history book, one of our history books that I've read and stuff, said that President Hoover, I think everybody ought to have the respect, whether you like them or not.
Sure.
Whether it was good or bad, or whether they could do the job or not.
Sure.
But President Hoover has said a big lot of the things that President Roosevelt did. President Hoover had done laid them out, but he had I don't know what was sent in the house. Anyhow, they wouldn't work with him. They was tied up back in and wouldn't help him, and he wasn't strong enough to go ahead and do it. But Franklin D. Roosevelt, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, was strong enough when he got in there. Now, I don't know this. I'm just telling you what my daddy told me. My daddy said that Franklin D. Roosevelt had the word out to the money people. If you don't start turning it loose and getting jobs and stuff going, we'll condemn it and start new money. He said, I don't know who they were. I don't think it was just Republicans. I think it was Democrats and everybody.
Sure.
If you're hoarding the money up and you don't start trying to get people in business and help us, we'll change your money now. That's why I don't know if that was law. My daddy told me that, and I never caught him in a lie the whole time I was with him. So it was the best of his ability. I can't back that up, but what I'm telling you, you can back it up according to that, see, because it's true. Now, I might have told you wrong on the 39 or 8. I didn't ask Faye. I just said, they said when they was kids. And that was
well, he said that the camps and the program went from 1933 to 1942 and employed over 3 million men. It employed men 18 to 26. If you wanted to participate in the program, you had to sign up for 6 months. You had to commit to 6 months, and they paid you $30 a month.
Well, this guy here could give you history.
I bet.
He
was in them.
I checked this out. He died in 1968. I got his death certificate right here.
Mm-hmm.
This fella died in April 15th, 1968. And they said he was 88-year-old. Now, if he was, that put him born in 1880, 1900.
Mm-hmm.
So that would put him born in, wasn't it, 68, 78, 88, yeah. So he was born in 1880, and he's got to see a lot more than Because he told me about first cars and all these things that he saw first. Even Mr. Travis told me that, and my daddy. About one car would come down Clinton Highway maybe a week. T-Model is gravel road. It's up there at Turkey Lane. It's the first highway. We went all the way to Georgia to Canada, all the way to Florida, I guess, Canada.
How long did he stay around Centerville and around
he
there?
lived, he died. He was he was right there with me till he died, you know.
In 16.
I mean, he wasn't with me, but they put him in a home back then. They let people in the 60s. People had houses. The government would, or I guess whatever pays for that, would let somebody, you could go in somebody's house and they could take care of you, you know, so that's why he lived back in the mountains, way back in the mountains back there, off of some of my papa's property that he had sold, the boys had sold. It's about a mile right straight back in the woods. And he had a cistern, and he had a garden, and he had, you could get to him with a tractor. You could get pretty close to him with a car later. But a tractor would get down in there, and I know my cousin and me went up there. My cousin George Miller started plowing gardens. My uncle had a tractor, a nice Ford tractor, and they go back there, and that's the first time he said his garden never been plowed with anything other than the way he plowed the mule, you know. But
first time with the tractor.
He cut down real deep and up, and we did all that, but he could do anything. He could make things. He could build things. He lived off the land. He'd get muscadines, make his own jelly, had his own water. He growed everything. I mean, he's just a talented man. He worked on fiddles, banjos. He played everything. And he had an old-timey battery radio. And them things had batteries in them, looked like a car battery almost. And he put that in there, and I sat back there with him and listened to music. Them things played a long time.
Listen to the radio. Well, how did they recharge? When the battery, did they recharge the batteries, or did you have to get a new one?
They last about a year.
Oh, wow.
Under normal treatment.
And then you just have to replace it?
Yeah, they go get them done.
Interesting.
They didn't listen to them all day. They just listened to the news.
Well, good. It's interesting. Like I said, things have changed. Not just times, but just, I guess, people. You know? Talking about
you just can't believe people live like that, can you? It's hard.
No, it's certainly hard for me, you know, my generation, and I'm no spring chicken, but yeah.
He taught me how to cut bee trees. He taught me how to dig ginseng. Of course, my daddy taught me how to trap rabbits and things like that. So, but he would take and we'd be out in the woods doing digging ginseng behind a bee tree. And if it was where you could find somebody owned that land, sometimes it's New York somewhere, we'd go ask them, and they'd always say, yes, you can cut it. And if it's a huge tree, we try not to cut them great old big trees like a big old oak or something. But normally it's in a snag. We call it a tree about 20 foot high, 15 snag, and you saw the top off and get rid of it. Well, he'd take his bee smoker. I still got it. We'd take a bee smoker, and we'd take us some rags and 2 pieces of plywood or metal, and we'd take a bow saw. We had bow saws we'd take with us. You know what a bow saw is?
Or 2 handles?
Well, one hand, you just take it and saw it. When me and him was getting bee trees, they just came out with a new metal one. Old-timey ones with wood, and you had to tighten them up. I got some of them. I got maybe one from John Rice or somebody on my cabin, but we'd take his bow saw. 2 people could use it, or 1 could use it. And first off, we'd smoke them bees in. It'd be dark, and we'd take a flashlight, smoke them in, and stick that old piece of breeches or some kind of cloth in there. And then we'd saw that top off, and just one in the center, just that top there, we'd lay a board on there and take a hammer and 3 or 4 nails and tack a board on it. Then we'd go down to the bottom and do the same thing. And we'd ride it up and start slipping that board in there and lay it down, and tack it on so the bees can't get out. We wouldn't even wear bee bonnets or anything because it's dark. It'd take them a while they couldn't get out, and we'd put them 2 things on them, and then 3 or 4 of us boys would tie 2 ropes, maybe 4 of us, so we'd get whatever we needed.
Tie the rope to the tree?
Tie the rope, put a stick around, and we'd cut that thing out of the woods. here at Satterville. It was across the highway over there. We didn't, nobody knows who even owned the land over there. It's just all in woods, and we cut them out there a lot.
And then, get the honey out of the...
Oh, we brought him up there at my cabin. See, I put him in my clubhouse that my daddy built for me.
Yeah.
And so we had our bee. We had gums, too. We had bee gums. And bee trees and them gums, and we sold honey. Me and him did. We were some partners. See, I've been in business when I was a little boy, too. That's when my mother would get after me. She'd say, "Oh, son, what is wrong with you? Running around with an old 70-year-old man. You don't ride your bicycle." But I said, "Mother, I'm learning so much from this guy. He's so smart." And when I did, he knew how to cut them. You know, if that tree was real big and had like 6 foot, he might cut it down and sell some honey out of it, because they make too much. And he built gums. He showed me how to build bee gums, and he built his own racks, and he built all this stuff. And then he might say, "That old snag ain't no count," and we split it, but we had to put our veils on. And he'd bump them up there close to that gum, put some honey in there a little bit, and try to get them bees. We watch it. If we ever get that queen bee, when she come out, they guarded her.
Sure.
If she go in, we smoke her, she go in, everybody go in then. Of course, the guard bees stand there and try to sting you, but they couldn't sting us because we had our veils on. And we'd bust that open and put them in a gum, and then it's called super. Your super is your big one. That's their home where they live and make their honey. But them add-ons, you know, we put them on there, and you might have 4 or 5 on trays on your gum, and then we cut 3, and sometimes if you're ever over, I'll show you. They're it's a thing made and got starter. We get starter comb put in there sometimes. It makes it so much better. And you just cut around it, and you can take a dishpan, you get a dishpan of honey out. And you got your super, and then you got all your other racks you put on there. And man, it's something to do. We've done a lot of it. We made a little money back in. Of course, back in a nickel buy you a Coke. You know, so it's pretty good.
I
mean, Coke's a nickel. Big old RCs, 12 ounces a nickel. And I mean, if you made $1 a day back in the 50s or late 50s or early 60s, or even early 60s, especially back in the 50s, Lord, you made a lot of money, $1 a day, especially for a young boy. You know, you just couldn't make it come money. But I know a lot of them people like Jack Shepard and friends of mine, they made 50 cents an hour. They were big bucks. It's $4 a day, man. You had work. I'm talking about chopped corn all day. Probably was cheaper than that on back there, but I remember when he was making 50 cents an hour. My daddy had built me a clubhouse, and he wanted to come off the mountain. This guy did. He would come down there and stay with us to it'd take about 45 minutes, 35, 40 minutes to walk from the store back in the mountains where he lived back in there. And he stayed about, if it was going to get dark at 6, he stayed about 5, and he'd say, "I'm going to take off." And he'd come there and sit with us, because he took a liking to me, because I wanted to learn all about music instruments. And of course, I had a little store going even part of the time. And I told him, I said, "Why don't you just move in here?" And he said, "Well, there ain't no place to move." I said, "You get my clubhouse." And it was so little. It was I think it was 8 foot by maybe 10, 8 by 10 or 8 by something like that. It wasn't much. And I didn't have no stove. And I had a great old big warm water stove. And we put him a little bitty bed behind it now, and it was right in the middle. And his bed was 12 inches probably off the stove. And you couldn't, that big old warm water is like Brother Bob talked about, you couldn't get it. He just run you out.
Too hot.
Then my daddy would say, "Look at that dude sitting up yonder in that cabin. He's sitting back there smoking this pipe right here." And have the door open because you could stay in there.
Too warm to be in it.
So I had a bunch of boys around there, and Mayor Mitten, we called him, at Run Mitten Cleaners, and Harold Bowman and Gene Cooper, a bunch of, people hang around and played checkers. I still got the checkerboard where they play checker games and win each other, they were good checker players. I'm talking about top shelf. I said, "Boys, let's go up there and build him a room. They said, we'll help you tomorrow night when we get off from work. These are all people I hired back in that day. Yeah. They worked at Oak Ridge, and Mayor Mitten ran a dry cleaners, and Cooper was construction man. And so what I did, I went up there and put me down a 10 by 12. That other one could have been 12. It might have been 12 by 12. We may have went back 12. But I built the floor same size as that other room, and floored it. It was rough flooring, and covered it with felt paper. And we didn't have up there where I built it. We didn't have no power, so we had to use saws, both saws.
Hand saw.
We had rough lumber, and we had a lot of pasteboard boxes from that store. And we went up there and built his room, put his roof on it, put him another door on it, cut the door out for that, and done it all in about 3 hours. Everybody just pitched in, and he moved over and put him a bed. Oh, he was hog heaven then. He had him a full-size bed over there. Put him in a full-size bed and had him a window where that big old stove was through it. And then we took his stove out, put him a cook stove where he could cook better. He cooked on that one morning. And he had the other part was his kitchen. Oh, man, he was set for life. Big deal. And we had water. We didn't have city water, but we had it piped in a spring. And it run down to a big old charred barrel right there behind the store. We go back there and dip our water out of this charred barrel. And everybody drunk. They had their dippers there. They drank out of that. And it's a stopper. See, all that was a parking lot. Side of it was all parking lot. Yeah. It's just two little buildings, that barrel and that little where you walk in.
Right at the very...
Oh, they parked tractor trailers around behind it and everything. And that's before the interstate. See, and everybody... That was
the main thoroughfare, yeah.
Oh, that creek and them big old trees. Whoa. Them people that done horses, these race horses, that's their location.
They'd stop there.
Clinton, man, they'd make it to there and drink cider. Oh, that was their big thing. Some of them stay all night. They just, you could park all where all that old place is parking lot. He was living up there on top. And, he lived there a long time because we built that music barn in 66 and he helped me build it.
How far from like where your house is it further back up in there?
200 feet, 150 feet. Just across a bridge, a homemade bridge that my daddy built.
Yeah.
He put two big long poles, cedar poles. He cut them down and floored them, and that was a bridge. And he didn't have a harm rail on it. I put one on it because some of those kids, we fell off in the creek. And some of them push you off in the creek.
Push off in the creek.
And I saw some of them kids go out there bend over because that water would come up to about 2.5 feet of the bank.
Yeah.
They'd bend over to get them a cup of water and fall in on their head. They'd fall in. Or my nephew Steve, he fell in a time or two, I think. And then they took that creek. It was 58 degrees because it was spring water, man. And them kids took one of them. I still got it in my grandma's smoky house. I took it down, built it up at the house. One of them big long bathtubs, you saw them, man.
Yeah.
And they would get that water up and get in that bathtub and get out there and have a boat. I still got it. And I got the most dangerous thing, I guess, it's ever been in the world. You would take a little round metal thing like this and drop it down in that bathtub and plug it in. Well, if you stuck your hand there, it killed you there before drop. They'd tell you don't touch it while it's eating. And it was UNL inspected. I've got it.
They drop an electric plate into the tub of water?
Yeah.
Holy
it was a heater.
Smokes.
Well, it wasn't supposed to shock you, but...
Oh.
No, we didn't test it, okay? I still got it with the tub and my mother's, maybe not her first wash machine, but one of her first ones. And a scrub board and our wash kettle.
It's amazing.
My mother washed on a kettle. My daddy built her a fire every Monday morning.
It's amazing that people had enough sense to do that and not stick their hand in the water.
Oh.
I bet somebody...
Kids listen to parents back in. A lot better than they do now.
I'm sure. I'm sure of that.
You know, when your daddy talked to you, and especially you went to church and he'd tell you something, boy, you knew to do it.
You listen.
He never did whoop me, but I never did take that chance. So I took it. But what I'm going to tell you, he had his water, and we had an outhouse there. And so he's fixed for life.
Everything
he needed right there. All day, and we'd close up maybe 9 o'clock, or he'd say, I'm going to go on in 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. He's the guy that went to bed early and got up early. He'd be sitting up there, big snow on the ground. He'd sitting up there, and he'd fire up and open that door. He'd love to sit there and look outside. That's so funny.
Different time.
And the bees was right over. I can show you, if you was up there, I can show you where they was on the fence row there. And then you talk about some good old days. Melvin Gibson was talking about how they pull in on their cars and dip that water. It's a big old charcoal whiskey barrel. Mm-hmm. So your water stay pure. We drink it spring water. It's good and cold. There's minerals in there, and people be singing and crawdads. And it's just a great day of life. And
today, if you serve somebody water like that, you'd probably get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know it?
But you put that thing down there, and Mama would do that for us to take baths in that big old bathtub. Mm-hmm. But she used it. It's one she used. Oh, that was
she used the electric thing too?
Yeah. Oh, my mother used it. She took it out before we got it in.
Well, sure. Yeah.
But that water be just warm as
you wanted it, huh?
Warm as you wanted it, yeah. I mean, I'd be afraid to even get around it. I'd plug it up. I wouldn't let nobody touch the tub. It's supposed to not shock you, but it could. You know, I mean, you stay a little short or anything, throw you up, key. But, see, and we had to carry back, when you took baths, you had to carry water back in. And, of course, we had a dram. I got a dram over there. Shoot that water. I showed you that, I think. That water going to hit that piston, you'd throw it 300 feet. And you hear it, pew. John Rice knowed all that when I started talking to him about them. They was the first ever before electricity, so everything had to be done without electricity. They didn't have it.
How did it turn? How did it function? What made it?
That thing is just about 18 inches high. You saw it.
Yeah.
It's all you do, pick it up. It's a big horn.
Yeah.
It's got so much. It holds so much compression, like a piston in a car. Mm-hmm. You know how a piston fires?
Yep.
Yeah. You take a plug out, going, pew, pew, that's what it does. Well, that water goes in there, and it triggers
so as the current of the stream pushes it. Yeah.
The current of the stream hits this bottom,
turns it
so hard. It's not hard, but when it goes up, and I guess that big spring, it'll trip that spring go wham around there, and it shoot that water about 300 feet straight uphill.
So it's the current of the water that powers.
Yeah, so it gets to keep going and tripping it. See, it goes to a spring. Mm-hmm. You just push that spring, and then it hits that next and wham, that next and pushes that, and then that spring comes off, wham. Kind of like a piston in a car, about the same thing. And it'll shoot that water. It shoot it three. But now, the ticker is, you have to have a reservoir. We had a 200 square tank and an overflow pipe. Because this water goes in, I believe it goes into the bottom, and it keeps pushing that water out at the top because it keeps fresh water in all the time. I believe that's where it works, your faucet's at the bottom. Water goes in the bottom, and then it overflows up on top. Huh. And that water shoots in there and pushes that old water out. Because water's running out all the time, too. Unless you got a faucet on, you turn it down. And then we go out there, go get a bucket of water, and you just step out. Go out there to where your little top for your first car is and get you a big old bucket of water.
Ready to go.
Bring it in. And this guy, then, when he left me when he got hurt. You know, it's getting too busy there. And he was there in 66, and all them, the music barn started, and the kids was all over him up there and across the creek. And he wanted a little more privacy, so we moved him down to Emmanuel Church. Mm-hmm. Now, he'd already been down there. He's the guy that I told you that we first put him in a bus down there, an old bus. You remember me telling you about carrying all his furniture up the road, take up that bed and walk?
Yeah,
this is the guy. We moved him up there. He was, running with the chair, and so we had his full-size bed. I've told this before, but we didn't know how to carry the mattress and them old-timey springs. You remember them?
Yeah.
I got to set them in my barn. We had no arm-rail bed. And it was going to bring his bed up. That's when we built his new room on for him. Okay. He's moving up there completely. And we was coming up the road. And I was always a good planner in this stuff like I was with getting bands together. And I said, boys, well, we can carry that with big old boys then with teenagers, And I said, take the bed out. We didn't have no car enough to drive. Nobody had nothing. Our daddies wouldn't let us drive. We were too young. And we took the bed down, sat out in the yard, and put it back together. Then we put the springs on it, and then we put the mattress on it. One grabbed the head, one grabbed the back, and we was going to carry it from Emmanuel Church down Mahaffey Road up there to this place behind Ciderville. And we got right there at...
That's pretty good transport.
We got there at the Church of God. back then it was a gravel road. And they were rocking the road. We got the Church of God up there. That's just the next church. You know where it's at.
Yeah.
Big, pretty church. Both of them out there are nice churches. Well, here come this rock truck. He pulled up on top of that hill. It looked like a mule train. Two of us was carrying the bed, and I still got his guitar if I was going to sit in his chair. He was carrying his chair and his guitar, and they was strung out down the road. I had about 10, 12 of them boys hanging around the store. Let's go help move old Sam. Man, they thought that was a big thing. We didn't have nothing else to do. That truck stopped. He stuck his head out one. He said, "Take up thy bed and walk." Oh, we laughed. We just kept trudging. We go over and sit, and then they'd take it apart, put it in the house, put it back in. I thought that, honestly, when I was a young boy, a kid, I thought I could do anything on the face of the earth. I never saw nothing, but I run around with so many older people that I could just figure out how to do it. I watched them. I mean, when I got around John Rice Irwin, how he would take a hoop and stick a thing in the ground, put that hoop over top the post on the gate and around the fence post, it made a hinge. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Over a circle. I learned so many things, how to raise gates up and down. Just try, if you got one of them big metal gates, like I hear you buy at the co-op, take a big old axle or something and drive it down the ground and put your washer so it won't keep going. Put your carter pin in wherever you want it.
Yeah.
Or drive it to what level you want. And stick it down on there. So all you got to do is get one of those clamps, you know, like you put conduit up with, and bolt it into the post.
And you're ready to go.
Man, you got a gate to open there and put you some grease in there. And I can lower it a little bit, and when you walk in, turn loose, it shut itself. In case cows won't run out. After I got my horse, I got a brand new one. I showed my nephew how to do it, just set it right on top of that post. And I said, lower this in a little bit, and it go, it shut it, you know, it don't lock itself, but it shuts. It would get one of those quick locks over. But I watched so many people do stuff, I said, well, shoot, I can do any of that. Man, I got so many ideas off the museum up here, and people like this guy, I mean, he could do, he was in the woods. I still got the pop gun, and I got stuff my daddy made me. I've got the pop gun that my daddy made me. One, I ain't got them all, but I kept one nice one. The slingshot. I still got the old car energy one, my slingshot my daddy made. I've got the stick that he set his tomatoes out with. You know, I showed you the milk, the strainer that he strained his goat milk. I want you to do a mini jug of goat milk, put that over there.
Over that.
It's so sad.
Beer can.
I have got a barn labeled with all these people's stuff in it, with their name on it. My uncle's muzzle he had for when I bought his farm. When he passed away, I bought that big farm down there from my uncle Ernie. He owned all that. Where Lambert's is, that was his sawmill. And muzzle he had on his cattle, you know, to keep him out of the corn when he's plowing the mule. I've got instead of those red flags that you flag train. You won't remember this, but used to impale, and I'd watch them when I was a boy. When a train come through, it brought the mail, and you had a great big fork. You remember that?
No, we've talked about this before.
Okay,
where
you had this great big fork with a net on it, and that train would be slow, and that guy'd run out there because the post office right there in Pale, and that's how he got the mail. You know, if there's a big old bag, they'd throw the big bag off. But if it wasn't a bag and just a handful, or, you know, like a grocery bag, little grocery bag, then he'd stick that up there and he'd drop it and he'd come down with it. And I still got the net off one of them. See, my uncle Tom's daddy was supervisor for Hillman Railroad. And then Bill Mitchell, that's on one of these tapes that we play, he was an engineer. And then I got hooked in with John Seymour. You know where Costa Shops is in Knoxville? Yes. Okay. He was the purchasing agent for this area, and you know what he spent a day for Southern Railroad? What he spent a day? $1 million. His average, I don't know what his territory was, but he became great friends with me and Luke. Oh, he had a home, you ought to see, and you ought to saw his furniture. He went back to 1600. I mean, it was a museum. You just have to walk in there and just get to see stuff that you'll never get to see ever in your life, probably. Oh, and his wife was wealthy, and he was wealthy, and he took a liking to me and Luke. He just loved our picking. And he took us on tours, and he gave me one of those steam engine bells.
Oh, wow.
He hauled me cross ties. He was wanting to give me, he said, I had to charge you something for one of them cabooses, and he's going to set it off here in Clinton. And at that time, I was with working with the butchers, and 7 days a week, I ain't no time. I couldn't. He said, I can give you 30 days, but you got to get off track. You get somebody to load it on a float. I was going to put it on a lake lot, make me an apartment out of it, a cabin out of it, an overnight thing, a weekend resort. And he gave me, I've got so much stuff he gave me, all kinds of stuff that he.
Did you get the caboose?
I didn't get it. Okay. I got everything else.
I was going to say, I haven't seen the caboose. He would haul it
to me, right? He just thought the world was. We played for Southern Railroad, and he walked over and stuck in my pocket. He said, here's your bonus. And I still got it locked up in my safe. Norfolk Southern Railroad watch with NF on it. No, NS, Norfolk Southern.
Mm-hmm.
When I got where I could get it out, and I said, look, give me a railroad watch. Brand new in the box. And sometime where I show you a lot of things.
Well, I've seen a lot. I don't think I've seen that. I've seen a lot of
Give me clock. He give me all kinds of stuff. But we played for him, and then I started getting a lot of that stuff from him and getting stories on him. And I mean, he was so nice. I didn't even say anything to him. We was in his office, and I said, boy, that's the prettiest picture of that great big old steam engine. I left him one of them bells, and he called him in there and said, come here, man. Take that picture down. Take it and put it in David's van or car, wherever I was in. I said, no, I don't want it. He said, no, I'm started looking. I'll put another nut. I got that picture hanging in my office. And I said, they wouldn't be no way I could purchase one of them steam engine bells right there. And he said, well, maybe. And they had one with the smoke still in it. It's a half-inch smoke up in that thing. And they said, we got it, but we got the brackets. Loaded his car, and I ordered him a new bracket. We got him somewhere in the United States and brought me a brand new bracket and put on it. And I mean, he was just so good to us. But I had a lot of people like that. I say something about, I love something, and I was got afraid to even brag on anything about him. He was just a great guy, but he paid us big, and he put this on. He just put this big show on. Why don't y'all come up here and play for dinner? I'm going to let them get off hour for lunch. I'm going to throw a big outside feed, and y'all going to play for hour.
He just did that for his employees, or the employees?
Yeah, he was just a big wheel. I mean, he must have been he was over purchasing for $1 million a day. I guess he was pretty high up, wasn't he?
I guess so.
But let's see, I got some of that stuff, but I still got, and Bill Mitchell was he was a engineer. And he got a whole bunch of stuff because he was a big deal. And my uncle was supervisor down in the railroad. He got the first car in here, I believe it, right on track. I think he got the first one. If he didn't, he was among it.
Had he just drive on them?
Yeah. He said the first time he went down the track, I think Tom was here one day when Tom had said, he said, I went down through this farm, and said a man was chopping wood, and said he looked around. And finally, he just threw his axe down and just stood there. Threw his axe down and said, that's the funniest thing. A car going.
They'd never seen a car come down the railroad track. Still to this day, I mean, I've seen those trucks and cars going up and down the tracks. When I was a kid, it used to always fascinate me.
Sam told me. Sam Jones said this boy that he said. This old boy never had saw nothing like that. He was before about in the mountain. They took him out there and said, one of them trains in Knoxville, not Knoxville, but in the town they was in, started moving. And said, this boy was standing on the track. Said he just took off down the track. They started, get off the track. He said, and right beside it was a plowed cornfield, beside railroad tracks, and said, they started, get off the track. He said, no, he's about to catch me now. If I get in that plowed field, he'll run over. He thought it was something after him. He said, the old boy didn't know, he never had
seen anything like it.
He had never been on there, It's funny. I mean, he tells some stories of how they'd go to, and how they'd save, a lot of them young boys would save their money. They would walk all the way to Knoxville, get to ride a bus back out here. And I remember right below Ciderville where the pawn shop is.
Yeah.
That's the bus stop.
That was the bus stop?
That was the bus stop. And you stop there and met all them people down through that valley. And my daddy would be sitting there in a truck, 39 Dodge. And I showed you a picture of last week.
Yep.
And he would be sitting there.
You stand on the bumper of it?
Jobs for hauling their stuff, and he'd haul them to so many of them.
They'd get off with their stuff?
Some of them get in the back, some of them get in the front, and some of them hang on the running boards. And some of them have chickens, and they have groceries and all that. And they'd pay them, I guess, a quarter a piece, 50 cents a piece or something. He'd take them home. He'd sit there. He knew about when it stopped at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, something like that, or 4 or 5. And, oh, yeah, we sit there many times. I sat there with him, and I just a little boy at the front seat. Of course, Daddy, a lot of them he knew. He said, I ain't going to charge you nothing. I just going to take you, help you out. And of course, they throw bigger money down.
Yeah.
He said, nah, I ain't charging anything. I know this one woman, first time I ever remember getting a dollar bill, she took out a dollar bill and gave it to me. Here, okay, I'm going to give him something and hand me a dollar bill. Lord, I probably just 6 or 7 years old. I thought, I was hunting a bank, tried to might give me a bank. I mean, that was a lot of money. When you bought a 10-ounce, 12-ounce Coke or RC for a nickel, to get sit there, I mean, some of these, it's such a part of life that, you know, I wrote it in Appalachia Dream. It's a part of life that's left us. It's been replaced by high-tech machines, but it'll live in our hearts and minds forever, our love for our Appalachia Dream.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I wrote that, about that, because it's a true story. I mean, when I start thinking, and then I try to understand people and try to visualize what would I did in those days. And when Faye and Elma, my sisters, talk about how hard they had it under Depression. See, I didn't have it like that. We always had plenty. We had a lot of money. But my daddy had chickens. They raised chickens and sold them, and eggs. We had all chicken every day we wanted. He had corn. He's one that furnished the corn and the okra and stuff for the big boarding houses. Back then, you needed boarding houses. And Daddy went around and sold all that stuff, took it to them. We killed hogs. We had all kinds. We had our own cows. We had milk and butter and cottage feed. I got to churn with Faye used to turn. That's why I learned to eat cottage cheese. I got like them. I did for churn. Come in and churn a little bit, buddy. And I just a little bit more. I churned him cottage cheese. And let's think of all we had to eat. We had ham, eggs, biscuits. My mother canned sausage. Every morning I had biscuits and gravy and red-eye gravy. And I'd get so sick of that. My uncle and them were professional fishermen, and they put trot lines up. They'd bring catfish, and he caught them like 36 pounds, big, old, hang them on trees and make us bring us steaks. And I'd hear Mama, I started eating fish for breakfast. I got started ham and stuff. And I still like it. Occasionally I go Cracker Barrel and get me one of them big old halibuts or what it is.
Yeah.
And some scrambled eggs and biscuits. I just like it every minute. But we had everything. And I'd go to school with the other kids, and they had, they talk about eating cornflakes for breakfast. And I said, that's what I want, cornflakes. Well, if they had a ham and biscuit, I could swap my ham and biscuit for anything. Mama, I told you I still had a thermos jug. And finally, you know, I was taking my lunch. I had to take my lunch to school. I didn't like what they cooked on. And she'd put my milk. Of course, we had cow milk or goat milk, whichever one you want. I had that in a thermos jug, and then she'd always give me, my daddy had a produce route too, I told you, back road school. We had potato chips and candy and apples and oranges. I mean, we had it made for us eating, and we had the best of everything to eat. But now we didn't have a very good car. We had to live out the truck, you know. That truck did everything. But I'd go over and Mother would always make me bologna sandwich. I get so tired of ham and biscuit stuff. She'd take bologna and put mustard on it instead of mayonnaise so it wouldn't spoil. And then put it in a little lunchbox.
I still eat bologna with mustard today.
I do too. But my cousin got so tired of everything. He said, I want to do something different. And he took bologna and peanut butter, and it's pretty good.
Bologna and peanut butter?
Put peanut butter on bread and then laid a big old piece of bologna, and boy, it tastes pretty good. You know, I invented them dip dog nuggets. And I'll tell you something else I invented that was pretty good. I was at Pigeon Forge and had fried ice cream. You've eaten fried ice cream?
I have.
Well, I got up there and they had fried ice cream. Me and my daddy and mom and all us, and we had a concession stand going. And I said, how do you all make fried ice cream? He said, well, we had to turn that thing up and freeze it like an ice cube. It has to be so cold. that it won't melt. We put that batter, throw it in there, and that batter, and it's, by the time it gets through cooking, it's still good and cold. It's just froze as much as ice cream. So I came back, and I took me some and froze it. Vanilla ice cream got real froze, real hard. And then I put nacho cheese on top of it. You know, salt and sugar taste good.
Yeah, it does.
And it tastes like butterscotch. Them nacho cheese is a little different than ordinary cheese. And we get that, and I say, we got a new deal here. It's called cheese fried ice cream. And I take that ice cream and freeze it real hard and throw nacho cheese on it. Oh, I say, just take one bite. And everybody that took a bite loved it. I remember one of the first people was Ava Barber. You know who she is. Ava, whoa, that don't even sound good. I said, well, taste of it. Whew, boy, that's delicious.
Would you drop it and fry it? Or did you just freeze it?
We froze it so hard and then put them hot cheese right on top of it.
Oh.
See, poured that hot cheese on it, covered it. Instead of chocolate, covered it hot. And y'all try something pretty good. It's a sight what's good.
I don't know about cheese on frozen ice cream or bologna and meat and peanut butter. I don't know.
My mother, peanut butter bologna, my mother used to tell me, David, you just don't know what's good. She'd say, would you try it? And normally if I tried it, I liked it. I remember.
I do like salt and sugar. I mean,
that's what it is. It's salt and sugar. Oh, it's turned into butterscotch. It's kind of like Sue, the girl that played bass for me for so long, was with the Butchers, and everywhere you went, the Butchers had them big old shrimp cocktails. They had big old things in the middle of the table. You just get how many you want, and they just keep them around there. No, you know, the Butchers went first class. Just say that. And me and her, we was working all over the country doing 2 or 3 shows a day, and she'd say, have you ever eaten any of them things? And I said, no, they don't look good to me. I don't think I'd want it raw. It's, you know, shrimp cocktail. And one day she said, I'll eat one if you will, and try it. And I said, let's get them, put them on that salt, shrimp
cocktail salt.
And we did, and we both got liking them. And that's how I started eating shrimp. But I had shrimp last night. I went to Yo Steakhouse. That shrimp. They had shrimp too. They give me so many, I had to bring them back. You carry them up there and eat them, and then, Lord, we got a pile of them things.
My goodness.
Brought them back, but I like shrimp, you know, now. But Mother would say, well, hey, you know you don't like it. You ain't tried it.
We do that with our boys now. Trey will be like, I do not like green beans. Beth's like, you don't know if you won't try it.
Did you ever try them?
Nope. Well, I mean, he will if she makes him. it's a fight.
Well, you have to do it. They would do it. Look here, I'll try something for you, and you try something for me.
Well, James David, he'll try it. I mean, he's willing to try it. Like he hates peanut butter. We're like, how can you hate peanut butter? But he'll try just about anything you ask him to try. Jacob and Trey, though, they are finicky. Trey's the most finicky of all of them, but they're finicky. They don't. He's like, they're all the time, I don't like that. You've never tried it. You know, at least try it.
That's the reason Mother had packed my lunch. I was real finicky when I was a kid. I was real skinny, and I was just skin and bones. You know, when I went to high school, I was 6'2", weighed 145.
Oh, Lord.
I just straight up.
Like a whip.
They said, well, he could drink a grape drink, stand sideways, and you read him for a thermometer. You know, I was skinny. Could you believe 145? I was 6'2", and I went to high school. I got a picture of it. I just straight up.
Yeah.
And then I got up to 165. And then I went to work. I was still pretty thin. I went to Bonnie and Buster. Then I got up to 185, and then they were feeding steaks. Jim Walter Holmes was, and they did everything good. Didn't take me long to get up there about where I am now. I mean, it moved pretty rapidly.
I feel your pain, brother. I've been there. I'm there now. I
want to do something if we got time maybe for one more little thing.
Oh, we can do whatever you want.
If you found her, well, we ain't had time to do it.
We ain't tried it yet.
Okay, just say.
We did number 1. That was wrong.
Okay.
You want to see if number 2's right? Or do you want to do something else?
Just hit a little of it. If it ain't, we'll go into that.
Okay. We'll see here. See if number 2's
I don't know why they don't start with their number 1s on first.
Let's see here.
Real slow.
No, I don't believe that's it. Hang on. Let's see here.
Everybody can listen to this, honey. That's what Cas Walker is about.
I think this is it.
Have you lost what you once had? Do you feel you've gone so far? There's no way back. Have you tried it all and you've chased every dream? Return to the Father's house. It's not as far as it seems. Don't wait any longer. There's abundant supply. He's been waiting, watching since you said goodbye. All the things you rehearsed no longer need said. He knows your heart and he sees the tears you shed. Like the prodigal son who lost every dime. Have you come to yourself on the bottom, feeding swine? Has the pleasures of sin left you an empty shell? Return to the Father's house and the love you know so well. Don't wait any longer. There's abundant supply. He's been waiting, watching since you said goodbye. All the things you rehearsed no longer need said. He knows your heart and he sees the tears you shed.
Still wasn't the one you was looking for, but
But it was good. She's so good.
Good.
She's going to come over. I was with them Sunday, and it's so good. You talk about harmony. Her and her daughter and her granddaughter, it's just out of sight. And
now tell us what we're getting ready to listen to.
but she went to, her husband went to Nashville and told him, said, my wife can sing. They said, yeah, we know everybody's wife can sing. He said, well, would you listen to mine? He said, they played her and listened to her, and he said, you're right, your wife can't sing. He said, I'm going to agree with you. Does she want to major in country or gospel?
What you want to do? You hear...
It was kind of a long story. We won't get into it, but she was a natural-born singer. That girl is right there.
Well, you know.
You can feel it at church when they really sing. You can feel it. There's certain people can sing, and you can feel it.
Claudia is one of them.
Claudia, Elvis Presley, some of them.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll tell you what, Claudia sung over the night. They started harping more. I mean, it's just unreal. Sometimes we have to do more. I tried to get out of our...
You got to do what they want you to do.
I mean, Claudia she's one of them. She's sent here to sing.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan Foster, I sold him an amp last week.
Okay.
And he's going on the road. They didn't call him, and that guy used to...
Cody Jinks?
He's doing one of his songs. Doing 2 or 3 of them right now.
Are you kidding? Well, we need to get him over here before he launches, because once he goes...
He said it's gone right now. He said, I'm done booked, but he come in and bought him a real nice Fender amp, and I got some of his Fender guitars, if anybody he likes, they're $2,000, but I'll make you a deal on them.
He's one of those people that was just put here to do what he's doing right now.
Put here to do what he's doing. I told him, I said, yeah, you ain't going to forget us. No. He said, what's wrong? You know, he's so humble about it. He said, he's going to do, he told me he's definitely going to do one or two, and he likes the rest of them. He said, I may just do a whole bunch of them. He said, you're one of the best songwriters I ever saw.
Well, he told when Cody Jinks...
He thinks he's going to work with him.
Well, he asked him to,
Yeah.
He'd been waiting, but he said when he was playing a bowling alley,
Yeah,
Jordan was playing, and he just walked, Cody Jinks was
just
playing.
accidentally met him. You know?
Yeah, but after he finished playing, they went out to Cody's bus, and he said, I want to hear everything you've got that you wrote. And he said he picked for him until 5 a.m, and he made notes on which songs he wanted. But if Cody Jinks records one of his songs,
he's definitely doing them.
He
said definitely. He said, yeah, he done got them down. He done.
Then then he'll be all right from here on out.
Funny too. He said he wanted to change a line or two on them. So I know what it was, so he get hype of it. I said, whatever you want to do. He said, you got to do something.
Well, sure.
Either move or another move, and it's going to be. He said it's hitting, David. I'm hitting it. He said, and he's not one to blow or frighten anything. He's telling you exactly.
When he was here telling me about it, he was so excited he was shaking almost. He was just like, "Can you believe that happened to me? This would happen?"
He's such a good guy. He comes in and gets it. He just I sold him one of them $2,000 guitar, and I sold him. The Fender has come out with a twin reverb amp that used to take all your strength to carry it and carry it one finger. They've got technology. There's a forehead of everybody now. It's not even funny. A twin reverb. Man, them things are heavy.
It's all...
They're the best sound amp. And now it's just a pick it up. 1-2 fingers, you just pick it up and walk with it.
That's amazing.
They're bass amps. The Parrot Boys bought one of them bass amps.
Yep.
You ask them, you pick it up one finger and walk around with it. It's just, I don't know how they're doing it. They've got little old light speakers, but they don't break up. I mean, they got the sound. It's okay. I'll tell you what it's like. It's like the first cell phone to come out with a bag, and now these now. That's what it's like.
I told Beth the other night, for a little bit, I'd buy me a set of the new electronic drums because of the technology. And you fold them up and just carry them like a briefcase. I mean, part of the reason I don't play out no more, and I've had a number of people ask me to, is carrying the cotton picking drums. Is loading them and unloading them, cymbals and stands.
It's a shame that a good drummer like you going to waste. It really is, Ron.
No, I appreciate it.
About every drummer that I ever had that ever works that I know of, I'd rather have you as anybody.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you fit us better, but you play so good and so smooth. And
I learned as a drummer, you follow who you're playing. A lot of drummers want to be followed. They want to
They want to be the star of the show.
They want to set the pace, set the time. They want the bass player to play with their kick, and if not, they have problems. I've always just followed. You just grab on and follow.
The bass player and the drummer are the backbone of the band. And they need to try, as Roy Acuff said, to make the stars sound as good as they can.
When we was playing with Roy, I'd follow him as opposed to him following me because there ain't too many bass players on the...
Yeah. But anyhow, I think Jordan's there. This next week I want to play one, then we're going to sum up a little bit, but this is Spec Love. A lot of the folks I know, if Owen Richardson living, a lot of the people who knew the Butchers or know Spec because he's over one of the bank. Oh, Spec was a good old guy. I thought the world of him. In fact, I went and played his funeral, that thing that they do. What is it? I can't think of all them words.
A wake?
Well, the thing that they do, memorial.
Memorial, okay. There you go.
I'll get down in a minute. I have to remember so many words for him. His memorial.
I'm not much help to you.
Jake Butcher, before he passed away, so he paid Spec's memorial. And he went to Nashville. Him and Webb Pierce were big buddies. And he went to Nashville, and Webb said, won't you just cut some of my songs? And Webb sung with him, and I want y'all to listen to this.
He sounds just like him, don't he?
He sounds just like him. This is Webb Pierce, Spec Level.
the glass that will ease all my pain, that will settle my brain. It's my first one today. There stands the glass that will hide all my fears, that will drown all my tears. Brother, I'm on my way. Wondering where you are tonight. I'm wondering if you are alright. I wonder if you think of me in my misery. There stands the glass, fill it up to the brim, till my troubles grow dim. It's my first one today. I'm wondering where you are tonight. I'm wondering if you are alright. I wonder if you think of me in my misery. There stands the glass, fill it up to the brim, till my troubles grow dim. It's my first one today.
AM 1380 WISH. Stars and Stories with Cas Walker
I want
Show.
to mention if he's listening, because that's old
Spec.
Spec, buddy.
I was just asking David, I wonder who sang, because he sounds so much like Whip.
Well, he did, didn't he?
But
I'd say Webb
who had that who had the style first, Spec or Webb?
I don't know, but I'd say that...
Webb sang with him, was with him on those.
Webb's on a lot this year with him.
Yeah.
It was two parts and back up. It's him. That was Spec we just heard, but I can't tell them apart.
I couldn't either, probably.
They're both good.
Yep.
We need to sum up, I guess, but...
what do you got coming up this week? You picking anywhere?
Let's see, we're going to do our TV show this week.
Saturday?
We got to film 2 TV shows, but remember, 21st.
That's Tuesday the 21st. Tuesday out at Campbell Station or at
Campbell Station.
Campbell Station, okay.
January be Campbell Station. I got some stuff. When I go speak at places now, it's picking up a little bit. But I was trying to retire, but didn't make it hardly. But I'm getting there. But I had to. We got some places we got to speak. I don't know whether they open to the public or not. Some of them in Knoxville, I ain't got places down, but I do some stuff like that. But and we got some other shows, but I think this is the only thing we got to open to the public. I believe it's Wild Wings.
That's on the 21st. And in TV this Saturday. You said something earlier that when you was growing up, you always thought there's nothing you couldn't do. I'm that same way. Now I realize there's things I can't do, you know. I'm never going to go to the moon, you know, all that stuff. But I remember, I told you this, I remember we were in Sunday school when I was a kid, and the lesson was on the Tower of Babel. And then, the lesson was, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, the Lord will, not really strike you down, but I didn't take that from it. What I got from it was, I remember my aunt was my teacher. What I got from it was, well, we can do anything. I said, what? We can do anything. How'd you come about that? And I said, well, it says that they was building a tower, and the Lord saw it, and they said they was going to build it to heaven. And so he had to intervene because they were going to succeed. That's why he struck them dumb and different languages. And I said, so if somebody that the Lord don't like can build a tower all the way to heaven, we ought to be able to do anything we want to do, especially if the Lord likes us. Then you got to think about that. If somebody's on the wrong side of it and could succeed building a tower out of brick to heaven, and if you're on the right side.
Like I was doing a show one time with Zane Daniels and a bunch of them, and Joe Guyton was there. And just tell them what you could do and what you couldn't do. And of course, they always, it's on a Sunday, they always getting feeling just a little bit better every few minutes. And I'd pick a little, and they'd feel a little better. Directly, one of them said, Joe Guyton said he can move anything. He can move anything. So Joe Guyton, the house move, he can move it all. Said, one of them said he could move House Mountain. Another said, well, he can't move House Mountain. And yeah, he could. Another spoke up and said, well, where's he going to put it? He started getting faint after another 2 or 3 drinks. Where's he going to put it? You got to think
he might move it, but to where? Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Anyhow, I think Barney told me yesterday he would be here next week.
All right. We'll have Sammy in here.
Some guests in here. I guess are getting tired of me. I'm getting tired of you. As old guy said, I'm getting tired of me. So I hope we'll do it for.
I hope Howard's better next week.
Yeah.
I hate to.
John Gamble. He listens to us religiously. So John, if you're listening, it's for you, done it.
I appreciate John and all those boys. Listen, I looked up Tuesday. Dr. Ayers was here, and our show ran pretty long, and I didn't realize it. I didn't go to the Rotary. Is what I was getting to. I see John at Rotary when I get to go, but I'd planned to go. I'm going to go to Rotary. Yeah.
We've lost a good trooper. Kenny James just passed away, and we're going to have his funeral up here at Jones's. I believe it's going to be Saturday 11. I think it's 11.
Okay.
See the friends.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to I tried to this morning to find something he's on, something he's picking on. He and I was doing a CD before we got sick. He said, David, we need a CD, me and you. And I went over and cut several songs. I don't know whether he even put them on anything or not. I'm sure he has. I should have got a copy of them, but
well, when you said that, I went searching, but I don't know if I've got the right one or not.
He's a native right here, and you talk about a good guitar picker. He was one. We've lost 2 of them here in this last little bit.
Yeah, Earl
Cox. Yeah. Kenny James came over. He was just a teenager, and he came over. I remember Jim Burr at Con Hunley's uncle. He was playing some rock and roll. He said, can you play Wildwood Flare? And he smiled and played it like you ain't never heard it. Jim said, boy, you're a good guitar picker.
Hang on. This might, if it's him, I won't play it before we go. Because
he was on a lot of Jim Fake. He's on everybody's record in your
Well, you mentioned him when you first came in, and so I went looking for him, but I didn't.
Hey, James,
there you go.
Singing or playing All of Me.
Here we go. Let's see if this is it.
he taught at Satterville. I'm thinking well over 5 years, but he taught there a long time. He had 5 places. I know he had his own place in Oak Ridge, and it seemed like East Town, West Town. He had 5 different days that he taught, and he told me at one time he had 100 students.
Holy cow.
Well, a lot of people, wasn't it?
That is.
He taught all the time. I mean, he started talk. He'd get off and come in there, maybe get a drink or sit down and eat this bite. And you know, somebody else that taught there a long time was Robert Anderson. He taught Robert. His son married Chet's niece.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert, real good guitar. I've had him over here, I believe. Once.
Yeah, you have.
He was super good. Chris was one to talk to.
Yeah.
Well, Chris would come in there and teach in the morning.
And then work.
He worked in the store all day, and then he'd leave the store straight out the door and go over and teach the way up in the night. He had so many students. Yeah. Oh, he was a great teacher. Chris was a
great guitar player and fun entertainer, too. He was.
Oh, he was Willie Nelson. He was so laid back. I take him on stage, he just had it all on. He worked with me 3 different times. One time he took off California and got following his lucid dreams, I guess. He never had a crossword, never. He said, David, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go for a while. And I said, okay. And he sat at the table 2 weeks before he died, or 3, and he looked at me and he said, this is the 3rd time I've come back here. And either you will let me go, or you one will die. I'll never leave here. He said, every time I went to work, I come out with money. The best I ever done in my life is working with you, because you always fix it where whoever helps you can do good too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good.
Boy, you talk about a hard one. There's 2 people that are really hard to see go. Well, a lot of them was, but him and I had a bass player named Bobby Hauser. You know, they just like your right arm. Because with you, just kind of like Big Mike now. I mean,
sure.
You know, Big Mike's been with me so long, the bass player. Me and him would go out and do a show by ourselves.
Yeah, you know, everything's going to happen.
He knows every little lick I'm going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, maybe me and him need one. It might not be the best, but we know where we're going. We know it's like me and Luke. With Luke, I had the best, but Luke told me, he said, David, we fit together so long our brains goes together. He said, I know where you're going to go before we go there. And you know me, so.
The hillbilly mind melt.
Yeah, actually do it thousands and thousands and thousands of times.
You know exactly
you know where he goes, don't you?
Absolutely, you do.
It's something else, ain't it?
It is.
I'm glad we got that.
I'm glad we found it before we go. Because as you said, Saturday.
Lord will, we'll see you next week.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12, or listen